Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, good morning. How are you guys? I hope you all doing well. Today, I'm going to give you an interesting lesson, so make sure to pay attention to what I'm about to teach. Let's begin the lesson. For today's lesson, I will be presenting material about verbs. Before I begin this lesson, I'd like to know if you still remember the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. To refresh your memory, I will read the synopsis again because in today's lesson, I will be using examples from the story Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White is a kind princess whose beauty makes her evil stepmother jealous. The queen tries to kill her, but Snow White escapes and lives with seven dwarfs. The queen eventually tricks her with a poisoned apple. Snow White falls into a deep sleep until a prince awakens her with a kiss and they live happily ever after. I hope you still remember this story well, and can you share the moral message from this story? Okay, next, I will present the main material in today's lesson, which is about verbs. Have you ever heard of verbs? A verb is a word that shows an action, activity, or a state in a sentence. In English, understanding verbs is very important because verbs play a main role in a sentence. Every sentence must have at least one verb, and that is what gives the sentence a complete meaning. There are four types of verbs, that is verb 1, verb 2, verb 3, and the ing form. Verb 1, base form, the basic form of a verb. Verb 2, past simple, the past form of a verb. Verb 3, past participle, the third form of a verb, usually used in perfect tense and the passive voice. Verb ing, present participle, the form of a verb ending in ing. Today I will be giving a lesson on verb 1 and verb 2 first, and the rest will be discussed in the next meeting. And I will give you some exercise about verb 1 and verb 2. For verb 1, I will show you a sentence. She takes one small bite. Can you identify the verb in it? The verb in the sentence is takes, which comes from verb 1, take. Why is it written as takes? Because the subject is she, which is third person singular. So we add s to the end of the verb. Alright, I hope you can understand it, and I want you to complete these assignments carefully and correctly. If there's anything you don't understand, please feel free to ask me. Alright, for the second material, which is verb 2, I will first read a part of the story. Snow White ran through the forest, dodging trees and stumbling over it. She was frightened and alone. Just as the sun began to set, she found a tiny cottage hidden among the thorns. She knocked softly. No one answered. She stepped inside and saw 7 little chairs, 7 little bowls, and 7 tiny beds. Tired from running, she lay down across the beds and soon fell fast asleep. Verb 2 is the past form. Now, for the second assignment, I want you to find the past tense verb from the story excerpt I read earlier, and then give the best form of each past tense verb. I will answer number 1 as an example. That is run, past form of run. Please go ahead and answer question number 2 to 4. Alright, that's all for today's lesson. I hope you were able to understand it well and can complete the 2 assignments properly. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you for joining today's lesson. See you in the next one. Thank you.